My name is Linda Crockett. I'm here today to speak to anyone who's interested or directly impacted in experiencing workplace psychological hazards. My purpose is simple: to bring you insight, information, and hope. I'm not just here as an advocate or a professional. I'm here as someone who has lived it. I am a survivor and a thriver of workplace bullying, mobbing, lateral violence, and harassment. My case left me with PTSD and a permanent physical illness. At one point, I stood on the edge of a cliff, feeling hopeless, stuck. I never thought something like this could ever happen to me, but it did. And that's why I'm here, to remind you that you're not alone. This is not schoolyard bullying. It is far more complicated and heavily nuanced. But there is life after workplace psychological abuse. You can heal. It will change you, but for me, the strengths I've gained and the incredible experiences I've had along the way have far outweighed the negatives. My journey began back in 2008 when I hit rock bottom. I made a decision then. I had two choices, really. One was to become bitter and stuck in resentment, or two was to turn it into something that I could help to prevent harming others. I chose to recover, to educate myself, and to use my education and experience and all my learning to help other people. I didn't want my grandchildren growing up in a world where this could happen to them. And yeah, it could. I know you probably can't see the positive possibilities right now, but I promise you they are there. Let's start by calling this what it is. It's workplace bullying. It is psychological hazard. It is a pattern of repeated negative behaviors and actions, whether intentional or not. It's directed at a specific person or a group of people. It is never a one-time incident, and it always results in some form of harm. Hazards also include harassment, which is unwanted behaviors or comments that demean and intimidate or degrade, discrimination, racism, sexism, ageism, ableism, and bias based on someone's identity, even retaliation or punishment for speaking up. Toxic cultures where misconduct is normalized and integrity is punished, these are hazards that create unsafe, toxic workplaces. They harm people, not just emotionally, but physically, financially, and spiritually. The harm spills over to your family, your spouse, your parents, your children. They are impacted too. These injuries are real. They don't just happen overnight. They happen slowly, quietly, relentlessly. It's like being hit by a car, not just once, but by a series of blows that you never saw coming. You're left confused, disorientated, fearful, and full of self-doubt. It's like the quote, "death by 1,000 cuts," or more accurately, psychological injury by 1,000 psychological insults. We often don't speak up because we miss or dismiss the first 300 or 400 cuts. But by the 800 or 900th, we're in serious trouble, facing potentially permanent diagnoses. Don't wait. Don't dismiss this. It's not your fault. Hear me when I say this. This is not your fault. This didn't happen because you were weak. Someone else abused their power. If you were hit by a car, you go to the emergency room immediately. But when we are injured by workplace psychological hazards, we tend to hesitate. We minimize, we question ourselves. I should have been able to handle this. I should have known better. I should have been stronger. If I just work harder, do more, do better. In true cases of workplace bullying, the harder you work, the worse it gets. It's not about a lack of anything in you. Again, these are injuries, not weaknesses. There is proof. We can use psychological assessments. We can use financial losses, medical records, but be sure to see a doctor or a therapist who understands the complexities of this kind of injury. You need professionals documenting on your behalf. but you also need your health monitored. Start documenting the moment that you start to feel something is off. Documentation protects your credibility. This kind of injury tends to cause us fatigue, loss of concentration, or memory loss. So your documentation is important for your clarity, and you need that clarity to keep your confidence. And if you have your confidence, it'll also keep your courage, because your consistency in your story, when you're ready to make a complaint, will have you readily available for the investigator. Here are a few common signs of injuries that you might recognize. Anxiety, hijacking your sleep, panic attacks before meetings, chronic pain, migraines, stomach issues, IBS, muscle tension, crushing self-doubt, isolating from your friends and family, hypervigilance, like that alarm just won't shut off, you're always on edge, depression and exhaustion. Again, these are not flaws, these are injuries, and injuries need care. You may feel broken, but it's called an injury, and it is not forever. Work is supposed to be a place where we give our skills and passion and feel valued and safe in return. That's psychological safety. But when that place becomes one of betrayal, it cuts very deep. It shakes your sense of self. But listen closely. You're injured, and injuries can heal. Just like a broken bone needs a cast, these injuries need trauma-informed care, compassion, therapy, legal advice, community support. Asking for help takes courage, but you don't have to go through this alone. Vulnerability, in my opinion, is the ultimate act of strength. You may never get the justice that you deserve, and that is unfair. But you can't wait for justice to show up before you start healing. Take your power back. I walk this path every day, healing and learning. And I will for the rest of my life. Sometimes when we are going through a lot of stress, our mind, it tends to play tricks on us. Did you know that when we are distressed, our vision tends to narrow? We shut out the world just to cope, just to get through another day. And when you do that, you're not only cutting out all that negative stuff and the stressors, you're also shutting out the possibilities and the solutions. We can't see the full picture when we're under duress until we get help, until we quiet the fire alarm and re-engage our rational mind. The problems may still be there, but you will finally see that there are solutions. Solutions you may never have considered before. You might not even like the solutions at first. But please remember this quote, and please tell your children who might be experiencing bullying at school. Even if you were perfect, you would still be bullied because you're perfect. This is not about a flaw in you or me. We all have flaws. This is about a fracture in the aggressor. Here is a short, but certainly not my full comprehensive roadmap for moving forward. Prioritize your medical and emotional care. Do it for your health, but also do it for the evidence it will bring you. Seek trauma-informed therapy. Make sure that the therapist understands workplace injuries like this. Not all do. Explore holistic healing. There are many that are excellent for trauma, such as yoga, many types of yoga, many types of meditation, massage, art therapy, improv theater. There's so many. Focus on healthy sleep routine, good nutrition and hydration. Move your body, a short walk. Exercise can be a great antidepressant, especially if you don't want to take medication. You do have choices, but you've got to do something to get better. No one else is going to do that for you. It's a choice that you have to make. Don't let the voices of those bullies in your mind win. Fight back. Fight for yourself. Get practical support. like gathering free information, for example. You can call Occupational Health and Safety, get the information from them. Human Rights, gather more legal aid, get a free quote from a consult from a lawyer. Don't quit your job impulsively. Get advice first, even if it means taking some time, some of those vacation days you've saved up or some sick days. Take some time out to gather information or talk to someone. Make a financial plan. You might have to look at your plan differently now that your job might be at risk, but it helps to get a plan in place. Protect yourself and protect your mind. Reconnect with yourself. Do things that remind you of who you are, the music that you love, the hobbies that you used to do. Fight that desire to isolate yourself and talk to people that care about you, that know you. Set strong boundaries. Maybe you already have some and they need some enhancement. Maybe you've never had any. Reclaim your values. I always tell my clients, listen to your heart. Your heart will never lie to you. Sometimes messages get all messed up in our heads and we can't trust them, but we can certainly trust our heart. Our hearts are solid. Just quieten your mind and listen. Ask yourself, am I a good person? Did I mean to cause anybody harm? Did I try to work really hard? Yes. Your heart will tell you the truth. That is a check that I had to do to survive when I went through this. Create a new vision for your future. Your purpose can evolve. I never imagined that I would be doing this work, but here I am. Find your new people who understand this kind of experience. Healing requires that community. Find safe spaces, peer support. There are groups, there are advocacy networks, there are organizations, many of us. But find a way to tell your story, whether it's writing it out, singing it, writing poetry, painting. Get it out of your body. It helps you to make sense of it in your head. Connect with the dots so that you can see the whole picture. You did not deserve this. You were in the right place, doing your job with integrity, dedication, and skill, but it was someone else's wrong time. It was their misconduct that caused this harm. But you are still here. You're stronger than you think. Let others help you remember that. You may have forgotten who you are. Many of my clients tell me, Linda, I've lost myself. When we are in crisis, whether it's a loss of a loved one, an injury, an illness, or a workplace abuse, we become confused, our values and our priorities are shaken, and we question our goals, our aspirations, even our sense of identity. But this is a part of the life-work crisis process. You are in transition from shock, transitioning through new learning, to adjusting, to healing, and over time, you will rediscover yourself, blending your old self with your new self. It's a metamorphosis. And while it can be so uncomfortable, trust me, trust the process. Reach out for help. Don't go through it alone. At some point, you will see the light again, and it will make sense. You will find yourself again. I've done it, and you can too. Healing is possible. Your story may be complex, may even be hard to believe. You might think that it's the worst story I've ever heard, but over the past 15 years, I have listened to thousands of stories just like yours. And while I wish none of us had to go through this, I want to offer you comfort. There are solutions. You may not like some of them at first, but when you've been through a wreck, whether it's a car wreck, a train wreck, or a workplace bullying wreck, you need to come out of the fog and take a hard look at options you may have never considered before. That's where healing begins. Healing is possible. Recovery is possible. Joy will return. Today, there are many of us around the world that can help you. Your current circumstances don't define where you can go. They only define where you start. Thank you for being here. I know this is not easy. I truly wish you strength, clarity, and peace as you move forward. Take care of you.